is your search open at the same time? Maybe you want to like basically copy what I do, and then we just because I generally like to send my chart book uh, variations by email, and then you could just set it up on your site too. Are you still there? Okay. Do you have an email? Okay. Do you have your search terms open like this? Like you, what I've got here on the screen. Hello? Uh, Do you have your search charts like this? Like the one you're seeing on my screen? Okay, so you're logged in, right? Okay. I'm gonna send you an email. The email I'm gonna send you. What's your email? Could you just maybe type that in Twitter? So where you from? Which country you're from? Oh, Virginia. Okay, nice. I'm in Montreal, Canada. So you're typing here, you know. So basically, the way if it's just a bit confusing at the beginning. Once you really get used to it, it's not too bad. Sierra Charts works with what they call chart books. You see this, right? Okay. So basically, just want to show you here. Once you type in the email, I have a lot of different chart books. Okay. I opened. You typed it in? Uh, where? Sorry. Oh, I'm looking for it in Twitter. I'm looking down. Uh, where do I go for that again? Zoom chat. Oh, it's here somewhere, right? Where do I go? It's been a while. Okay, so that's here. Let's just get that. Okay, I'm gonna send you the email. So what I'm sending you is the chart books. So these are like the examples of what you need basically to set up the charts, like the ones you're seeing on my screen here. We're good, and then from there we're gonna go one step at a time. Where is it? Just let me know when you get the email. So how long have you been trading? I think you said that you were trend lines, indicators, all that stuff. Nice. Yeah, this is gonna help you a lot to give you a good context on markets, especially with the volatility and like the context, what's going on, and where is price moving off, and I mean we'll cover all of that once we get like a good portion of the technical stuff taken care of. No, just take. You got the email? You got the email? Okay, just okay. I'm gonna guide you on your search charts. Basically, um, wait, it's because I'm on my screen here. Okay, I'll just open up my Sarah charts folder. So, where you basically download save documents for the folder for the how you call it. Give me a second. Okay, just brought the screen here. It's just my the Sierra chart here, where the folder where you kept it on your computer, and then you go to data. So what I sent you by email, take the ES only and put it in data. Put it here in data. Okay. Okay. So that's done. And then you go to your search charts. You go to File, Open Chart Book, and you click the one you did, the full code. You just copy it into the data. Mhm. So that's like the chart book. You can have all those chart books that I sent you by email. You can have them attached to your Sierra charts. So like this is one full chart book just with the regular dome. What is it? Here, like you see this. Is it like loading? Is it taking some time to load? Uh, the chart book, I mean, like you put it here in data, right? You copied it here, and was that right? Probably yes. How do I do that? I think so. I go. What are the participants? I have to give you. How does it work? I have to go more and no, that's not it. Ask to start video. No, that's not it. What do I do? It's been a while. Always like you. What do I do? Pause share. No, that's not it. Uh, pause. Is that the one? No, that's not it. Why is it here? Ask to start video. The hell? Ask to share. This video. Why isn't it? Sorry. Sorry. Uh, no share. How do you? Uh, this, this, make host. Ah, I have to put you a host. Do you change anything? Yes. Ah, okay. I have to put you as a host. So normally I should see your screen, right? Okay, good. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so you got that. It's ESR. Open ESR. Yeah, click it. Is that all you have? That's weird. Oh, what's that? No, that's something else. Oh, yeah. No, my bad. No, I mean, every time I've done this, this it just opens up the how you call it, the chart book and everything. No, it isn't. Your favorite. That's weird. Is that loading? Or okay, I said increase it. Put it. Yeah. Go to chart. Chart settings. Chart settings. Okay. Go to find. I see the. Okay, it's fine. Go to find. Yeah. Features. Okay. CME. I think it's CME at the top. I saw. Real time. You should have email, SMA, Joe, say, okay, apply it, apply it, okay. This should just, you might have to do this for every chart in that chart. You get it? Yeah, I think this. There you are. Okay, this is a chart that I don't really use, but like I said, you might have to. That's what you have to do with every chart. Uh, just because um, the future's naming is different from one how you call it broker to another. I don't know which broker you're with. Um, isn't there any other charts in that? Give me 2 seconds. I just want to make sure that for some weird reason, maybe the system didn't load the right chart book when I sent you the email. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Um, look at that. Open, yeah, NQ profile. NQ profile. Same thing. Go to chart, chart settings. So find uh, CME. So we're gonna use this. It's showing up. NQ, June, yeah. Okay. Yeah. You see, the NQM, the way it's written is different from my Sierra charts. That's the only thing you have to correct with each chart book. Okay, so you have the profiles. Nice. Maybe do the same thing for ES, and then we could basically. So this is the first time you're using market profile. Okay. Um, did you want to do ES there? Wasn't that ES? I think. Yeah, I think so. No, it actually rolls over the contracts automatically. You'll get like a message and it say, "Do you want to roll over the contracts automatically?" You see, it automatically roll over futures. Yeah, that's for gold. Yeah, yeah. You could probably play around with the charts and all that. And then when I'll show you. Yeah, yeah. Set the basics. Oh yeah, the timing, the time, also the time stuff. Um, I use New York time zone, but you could do the settings for that. Hmm. Okay, how many screens do you use when you're training? Okay, the way I do it is, I'll show you the easiest way. Let's say you take that ES profile. Uh, what was it? Take the ES profile. Okay, ES profile. It says ES profile. Right there. You go to window, the option at the top. ES profile window. Yeah, and just maybe max it. Yeah. It says detach, attach window. the bottom. Yeah. So when you take that, you can just flip that out to another stream. You can just move around. You get it? You can basically take that, and you could do the same thing for each chart. It probably went to one of your screens, or maybe just minimize this, minimize Sierra. It might be at the back of behind it. You got it? So you basically separated that chart from the main Sierra chart platform. You got it? You sure to go to another screen or something? Unless your other screens are not open. Yeah. No, once you get used to it, it's very easy, man. It's just because it's new and me too at the beginning. It's like, what the hell is this? But I got used to it. And from time to time, I still screw up my stuff and I have to restart. But it takes once you have the template ready, like the chart book, you can just duplicate charts and then change the instrument, and you could just duplicate stuff. It's a lot easier. The ES profile. Did you give me back access or you still have access? Okay. Uh, uh, let's say you closed it and for some reason you lost it. Okay. Worst case, you open your GC profile and just maximize it. I'll just show you here. You could duplicate this. Okay. It says duplicate chart. You see? Chart, duplicate chart on the right, right below. Yeah. So you're duplicating the same chart book. Okay. It's gonna take like let me go 30 seconds to load the history and all that. And then you could convert one of them into ES. You get it? Did you duplicate that? Then you go to chart, and then you go to yeah, and you go CME ES, and yeah, you get it. So this way, if ever you lose anything, you just duplicate from the other ones. The only thing you have to do is yeah. So that's now you go back to chart. Just want to show you something. Yeah, yeah. Chart settings at the first store at the top, and then you have I can't see your screen. Could you like put it up? Yeah, you see you saw JIGSAW. Yeah, just rename it. Yes, and then you're gonna have to play around with the timing. Because gold opens at 9 a.m. Eastern, so you want to go back to here just to double check the time. For some reason, I can't see. You want to just move that up a bit? Yeah, move that up. Okay. You see like 9:30 to 4:14 on that. For gold, put it to 9 o'clock because gold opens at 9 a.m. Eastern. But this is good. This ES is good. Like 9:30 to 4 4:15, let's say, and 6 p.m. is when it opens. Okay, you just have to pay attention for crude and gold because gold is at 9 a.m. Crude is also 9 a.m. So this is the market profile. Go to now. Well, if you want to detach it to send to another screen, yeah, you go window detach. Okay, yeah, now I don't see anything, but you will probably see it on your other screen. That's good. Of course, yeah, yeah, you can have everything separate. Maybe give me back access to show you how I do it. So you go back. I don't even know how I gave you access. Did you give me access? Okay, where are we? Is this my screen now? Can I? That's good. Uh, okay. This is it. What's it doing? Host participant screen sharing. Host disabled participant screen sharing. You are a host now. All right. Okay. So are you able to see what is she now? Oh wait. Share screen. Okay. So let's go and share. All right. So now just gonna make it simple. This is one screen that I have. You get it? So like Sierra, the way it works is there's one screen where you have everything, the main everything. You get it? So this here, I left it here. If I want to bring another s- um, template into it, I just go Window, Detach, and it comes back into my main area. You get it? And then I could take this whole thing and move it around into my other screens. So basically, now if I go back to my, what did I do with that? It's, was it thank you? Anyway, so that's all the screens here. You get it? I was an NQ, was a yes, sorry. Let me just go back. Where is it? Yes. Profile. See, my profile is here now. So I want to take my profile. What's it? Sorry. And we take window, detach, and then profile is back to another screen. Okay, you got it? So you can play around with them. You get that? So ES, NQ, I just have like 20-second charts here for context, and then I use also the 30-minute footprint. So just before we continue, you you have a good knowledge of market profile, or it's basically brand new. Nothing is known. It's all brand new. Okay. So before I dive into all this, this is footprint. Okay. So basically, it's the market profile works with 30-minute time frame that you know, right? So I'm just gonna increase this. So this shade trade is the regular trading hours, or 9:30. So if we just go over the basics, every level is a 30-minute time frame. A is the first 30 minutes, B is the second 30 minutes. This blue here shows the initial balance. Market profiles first two time frames are initial balance. So initial balance break happens above the B period, okay? And so market profile is basically A, B, C, D, E, all the time frames with the 30 minutes. And this here I have volume profile. What's that? I'll zoom it. Oh, it's on this side here. Are you able to see it? Scale range, you put it like this, and then you have scale move where you could play around with it here. And then you have a scroll bar at the bottom here to move the dates. Okay? If it's little details, but sometimes it kind of screws you up. I'll just show it to you before you like if in case you have a problem. Yeah, you just right click it. Right click here on the side. Was that? Uh, the profile is different. Is it different because of the lines I have here, or these should not be different? I don't think. Mm, topic. Oh yeah. Okay, I know what that is. It's here. Studies. I'll show you. Okay, so now these are studies that you can add in your profile. I think it's the daily open, high, low, close. If you want to go into it now, you right click. So right click, studies, daily open, high, low, close, settings. I think, yeah, here you might have stuff that are different. Are you like recording this? Are you recording this? Okay, because maybe you want to take a screenshot of this, okay? Just for you to. This could be the reason why you have those green, yellows, a bit weird. I basically changed them just recently, so I put them to these nine. Okay, I know why. Uh, it's because I probably updated this a bit and it wasn't updated on the chart book. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna send you the most recent chart book. Okay, this way you don't have to do anything. You won't have to. Excuse me for my wording, but you don't have to fuck around. Give me seconds. Uh, let's just save this first and make sure that I think here you might not have my accurate, like the exact one I have here, so I'm gonna save it first. Okay, let's save. I don't know what I named it, but what's this gift about Zoom? What's it doing? Funny type of posts. Anyway, let's just name this. So ES. Okay, zero ES. Or new ES. Zero. Okay, new ES. I'm sending it to you at the same time, so it's gonna be done. You gave me your email in chat, right? Yeah, this thing is slow. Was that sorry? No, I was mostly long, but I shared most of my trades on Twitter. You probably saw it. Was that right? Cut off. I can't hear you well. I don't know why. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That was just like here. Did I send it to you now? I think I sent you the chart book. Did you get it? My internet was lagging. I don't know why. Yeah, yeah. It's weird. I sent it in. It's not attached. It's weird. It's like no one, two. Okay, here it's giving it 2 seconds. It's because my internet's lagging and okay, it's loading. So you're gonna probably get this trouble. Okay, so let's just do that. So in the email, yeah, yeah, those are like various chart books that I like created, took from others, and I put them into an email where if ever you want to play around with it, uh, it might take some to load sometimes. So like just don't open them all at the same time. It crashes your computer. They're a bit heavy sometimes if you want to put them all in together. Like then I show you that here. Like if you open like many chart books, you can have like plenty of them here. So I have like two of them open here. It's really not worth having this one open, but it's basically to show you, you know. So yeah, this is okay. And then open chart book is yeah, it takes some time. If you want to reduce like it's just a little trick. You could go to chart settings and like try to reduce the number of days, like to put it to 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 days max. You know, if you put it like 60 and all, then it takes a while for everything to load. Are you there? Hello. You still there? Okay. What's that, right? Oh, oh, okay. So you go help. You see my screen, and then download current version. Yeah, that's probably a little issue. Yeah, it's gonna update your. What a move in the NQ, eh? Today, uh, overnight has been pretty. Hello. Okay. So basically here. Okay, so that's good. It's cutting off for some reason. I can't hear you now. What happened? What's that, sorry? Code board. Where is that? I'm not sure what you're talking about. When let me give you access here. I'm not sure what you're saying. I'll put you as host. Yeah. Mhm. You right click on the side where you have the prices, the scroll bar. Yeah, right click. Yeah. And then it says scale or move. You can put the set as X and Y's constant relationship. Scale and range is just for the vertical. Yeah. Scale and range. And then just go and play around with it on that price. Yeah. Yeah. You see? Okay. So you got it? Yeah. Yeah. You just have to be a bit not too quick or else it kind of. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I always put it to automatic. If you right click, automatic, and it depends because like on the profile, I keep it automatic, but on like charts and all that, sometimes you want to put it this constant range depending on how. Yeah, exactly. And then now you probably have to readjust the scale. Right click again, the scale range. Yeah, put it back to the regular. Hmm. And then if you right click reset, maybe there's a right click reset. I think. If you and then there's right if you right click again in that same area, there's reset at the top, at the middle, sorry. Yeah, so that's the way you play around with that. Oh yeah, it's weird though. I think you still have to do the range, scale range a bit more. Yeah, just no. Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah, you'll get the hang of it. It's gonna be yeah, yeah. So basically, I don't really care about all the prices there. Like the volumes of all those. I just want to see like the general structure at the beginning. Yeah, yeah. This is a 30-minute footprint. So every A, B, C letter that you see here, okay. Uh, so it tells you the price, like the auction in each price level, right? Yeah. So this is the footprint of each candle, basically. Exactly. So the asks, the bids, and the volume at each price. Okay. Yeah, traded volume, of course. Yeah. You see, like the green at the bottom there. If you see the 49, the last candle, there's a 49 that has green. So that's an imbalance. An imbalance is when you have at least, I mean, it's really relative, but you see the 11 there. That means that there were 11 sellers versus 49 diagonally, you see. So that's an imbalance. So it just shows that at that price, uh, you know, buyers stepped in. There was aggressivity. There was aggressive buyers coming in at that price. And if you go all the way at the top at 3032 price level, you see the oranges, the 14, the 29s, the 33s, the 38s. You see they're colored obviously because it shows the aggression on the sell side. You get it? Yeah, eventually you'll get used to it. So like the way I set this up is that the green shows me aggressive buyers and the orange tells me that sellers were aggressive there. It's just basically imbalances. Um, yeah, diagonally. Some traders will use it various in different ways, but I mean, don't really complicate it. It's not that important. It's just that you visually see where sellers are coming in or buyers are coming in. Well, now we're in the overnight, so the overnight doesn't have huge volume. But when you see these in the regular trading hours, like eventually with time, you spend some time looking at this. Like it really is a quick way of saying, oh my God, okay, sellers are coming in. Oh my God, buyers are coming in. You know what I mean? You just want to, if you have a couple of contracts, you want to probably like close it, or you want to, it gives you a way of like, okay, there's like a change in the auction. Hmm. Okay, give me back access. We can look at that. I can show you on yeah, yeah, do your thing. Yeah, you see every you could have copied, actually you could have copied it from the other chart, that symbol area. You can copy it instead of going like this every time. You can just copy the symbol name there and put it into every ES chart. That's it. Yeah, you can just ESM copy. That's it. Right click copy, and you just put it into every. What is this? This is a 20-second chart. Yeah, it's a 20-second chart. It just shows you like the very rapid auction that's happening in a smaller time frame. And these 714, the 154s, it's the volume, you see. So at that point, we were going up with like higher volume, and like the swings lower were with lower volume, you know. It just shows you how uh, the swings are important or not, you know. Like as soon as this 1569 came in, okay, there's more volume to the downside, you know. Like the short time frame is basically where scalpers, you want to really just see like the immediate action, right? Yeah. Did you give me access or okay? It's like you coming from like, you know, technical analysis and indicator and all that. While you do that, I'll just explain how I want to make sure that, you know, uh, the market profile, the volume profile, the footprint, all this stuff will take you at least, believe me, 1 to 3 months to really digest the information. Because me personally, I've been trading off of footprint, market profile for what, a couple of years now, and at the beginning it was really complicated because like it's like learning something that's brand new, and it kind of like psychologically it's hard to accept sometimes. So you really need to digest. I spent like hours and hours just going over like what works, what doesn't work, what do I want to look for, and you know, maybe there are even some stuff that I just kind of like started realizing that it's useless. You know what I mean? That's why you want to really take the time and see what works for you and what you want to look into with your trading. Um, this footprint stuff, nothing is accurate. Okay, like you will never ever have a moment where, oh man, this is the exact setup that happens 100% of the time. That's never going to be the case. Even in market profile, you'll have days where the structure is really weird. You're going to be like, okay, what the hell's going on? Why is it this weird? Those kind of days are like maybe 10, 15, 20%. The whole point in trading, you know, is to aim for those 75, 80% accuracies, right? You want to see those moments where, you know that you have an edge in trading, and when you don't have that edge, just avoid trading. Like today, I think I posted that in Twitter. Did you give me access or not? You didn't give me access. No. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. I think I have two different variations of that chart, and I just kept it there because I was probably playing around with one of them, and I didn't want to like screw the other one. You get what I mean? So I probably kept them both there. Where's the other one? Where is it? It says yeah. So that's 30 minute footprint, right? Yeah, I want to. You want to go to chart? You just want to show me. Let's just make sure that's every 30 minutes. Yeah, it's a 30 minute. Yeah, it's a 30 minute footprint. I'll show you what those numbers mean. Yeah, so it's good. So the if you go to the most nearest candle, like the last candle, let's just go to the last candle. By the way, the profiles on the right here. Are you able? Okay, so you gave me access now, or okay, so normally I should be able to share screen, right? Okay, holds disabled printed. Okay, that's good. Um, okay, so I'm going to share. You see my screen now? All right, so we're good. Let's just go back to that 30 minute. Okay, so I'll just increase this before. So this is every 30 minutes, okay? Um, just free, before I forget, this here, I don't know if you're able to see it. So like, I think in your case here, you played around with the scale range like a bit too much, okay? And if you reset, it basically comes back to normal. And then like to really visually see these numbers, you just gradually play around with it a bit just to, you get it. And then I always put it back to scale move so that I don't like by accident play around with it. Now I can just scroll around. You get it? Hello? You get it? We're good? Hello? Okay, so you got that, right? So okay. You don't have this chart? You have this. Okay. I don't know why it would be that different. I don't know. It shouldn't be. I mean, I sent you the exact chart book, so maybe the other one you have, and it's going. Okay, these lines, it's normal because these lines are manually drawn. I drew these. Okay, I'll show you where these lines come from. Okay, I'll show you. So those lines, this is something that you can look at your. This is my profile, right? This is like my basic regular chart where I look at everything. Okay, so I'm just gonna look at what I do in the morning, just to like see where prices moved off and what I do at the close. Okay, so those lines that you see on my 30-minute footprint come from this chart. Okay, so what you do in that 30-minute footprint is if I draw something here, whoa, what's going on? If I draw a line here, okay, wow, okay, here we are. If I basically, let's say I draw something, where's the price here? So you go to tools, right? I'll tell you what these lines are in a couple of seconds. If I just draw something at the top here, okay, boom, it'll come and drive right here. This is that line that it drew here. You see that 37, 38, that's okay. Yeah, well, you have to tell it to do that. So what you do is you go to chart. You see here, this chart number is 12, right? You see it says 12 here at the top. So on my 30-minute, I go to chart settings, and then I go to advanced, and here I put 12 short drawings. From every drawing from this will apply automatically here. You got it? Well, this is my 12. My chart, the numbers could be very different on yours, but it's not important. 12 here. So I go to chart here, chart settings, and then advanced settings, and 12. You got it? And then you apply, and it automatically, whatever you draw here. So if I put, where's the price here? So if I probably do something like that, boom, it draws it here. You got it? And then you could erase drawing, and it should, boom. You get it? All right, so let's just get to the market profile. Like I said, you really want to understand what structurally what's going on first, okay? Like the footprint stuff and all that, eventually you'll get to that too. But once you understand the profile, um, the footprint is going to be where you're looking for execution. You want to know where to buy, where to sell. The profile is just giving you a trade location and context, right? Nothing is perfect, but at least you know where prices are moving and where from which period to which period. So if you read the books about market profile, Dalton, the Stottlemyers, they have little different nuances, but at some point, nothing works perfectly. uh, those guys will use like time price opportunity, the TPOC. Okay, this is something that I also use just to make sure that the context of the market is really like understood. The TPOC is the price level, my blue here, okay, where the most number of candles. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F. So that's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven wide. They're gonna say seven wide. Seven wide means that at least seven profiles touched at this price, right? But that's the TPOC here. I have it in blue. That's the TPOC, time price opportunity, uh, that ended at the end of the day. But during the day, this TPOC moves around. It shifts around, right? I had it blue here because in the just before the afternoon uh, slide, the move down, the teapot was here. So it was a one, two, three, four, five, six wide. From six wide, it went down to seven wide. The reason why it's important is that it kind of shows that while everyone here got trapped, you get it? the buyers who came in late got trapped. You understand? Yeah. Again, like I said, I don't expect you to get this right away, but just make sure that, you cover all this, and we could discuss it in the future. We could, uh, the red area, I just drew this. Okay. Okay, the color coding, it's my personal way of doing it, okay? It's just that I put the blues for TPOC the most. uh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Okay. The red here just means that basically, uh, it's undervalue. The gray is value area. So that means 70% and more was traded in this gray area, and 30% is above, and 30% is below. That's pretty much it. I don't really give that much importance to that, because at some point, there's that doesn't help me in my trading, right? I need to know, like, okay, it's that's very clear. 70% of the trading happened in this mid area, the 30% up here and 30% up here. You get it? It doesn't really help me with my trading. What helps with my trading is, if let's say I want to buy the low here for whatever reason, I want to know a target where I can aim. I know that this TPOC, which is 3042, has been acting as a zone where price has always been coming back to it all day long. I'll just come back to ES later, but I want to show you something on Nasdaq. Okay, Nasdaq is pretty volatile, right? But if you understand Nasdaq with the profile, what it generally does is it rotates tremendously with market profile nuances. Okay, these blue lines that I have here are previous T-box, meaning where price spent a lot of time. You get it? So look how, like, the market bounced off of this so many times. It kind of like almost becomes very clear that this is going to be very hard to break, because we know that previous areas or previous days, the market spent a lot of time in that area. You get it? Hello? Yeah, the T-box from previous days. Yeah. I, like, you can back test this, but like if we go back like almost a month, let's say, if I can go back here, okay, I probably didn't draw all of them, but look, what is this? Okay, these areas generally always come back and get retested, and it's generally very hard to go through these areas. I color code them in blue to show me the T-box and all that. So, and these are ways you could, like, set them up. You can go here, you could color code them, you could add, you could save, you can play around with this. Okay, so the way you do that is you go up here, tools, lines, lines, and then you have rectangles here, lines, rectangles. You can add texts, you can add an arrow. You got it? So tools, and I generally put chart value, crosshair, or pointer just to not draw all over the place. But yeah, okay. So, like, just for fun, we'll just see, like, that same level. You see the blue level, okay? It's probably because we're trading above that, so it's not gonna help. Okay, here, that same blue level. Look at it, okay? I advanced like many days, and the market spent so much time around that. Okay, so much time around that. It always comes back to those levels. It's unbelievable. Like, you can just put them in your chart for like previous teapots, and then here you would just copy this, and let's say you would put on this one here. Okay, these are observations that, with time you get to basically singles. This is like, this white line here. You'll see it on your TPOs as well. Single prints, okay? Single prints are areas where a 30-minute candle, if you're able to see this 30-minute candle, I'm going to show it to you. Obviously, NASDAQ is very volatile, so these candles could be very wide ranged, okay? So you're going to have to play around with this a bit after. So move it. Okay. this is an area where this 30-minute time frame, okay, crossed the previous high and it never got filled, meaning this level becomes, for me, the way I explain this and the way I see it is an important shift in either demand or supply. You get it? So this area is very important for me. This means buyers stepped in this, at this level, and it became for me a developed level because the way I look at it is that this level was not something that just got created now, you know? It's a level that basically market spent time above it. And above it, my way of looking at it is at least the market spent at least 3 or 4 time frames above this. Okay, in YouTube, I put a singles video there. You can look at it. It works on stocks. It works on indices. It gives you great areas to basically have a bias on the market. You get it? Look, this area held tremendously in Nasdaq. So you could have bought QQQ calls and like it's like a shift in demand. There's something that happened there where you know we made a new high in the day and we never came back to close it. Okay, look, these white lines here. You see these same white lines. You see here, the same thing happened, but the next candles came back and closed it. So these areas kind of like failed. They didn't work out. You get it? What's important for me is that what's important for me is that I draw them out. Okay, I draw them out like this, and if there was a good number of chop around that, I want to see if the market is able to basically not really close above it or close below it. Hello, I think yeah, I think the internet lost us there. So give me 2 seconds. You seeing my screen? I don't know if it's the internet or if it's Zoom and it's really weird. Over the phone, yeah, we could, but the thing is, how would we do that over the phone? You want to call me on WhatsApp? You have a WhatsApp line? Okay, wait. Let's do it this way. Why don't we? Do you have WhatsApp? Here, maybe. Um, did you want to review anything else? Did you have any other questions? Did we miss anything? Um, yeah. So basically, those minus 553, the minus 289s. Hello. Yeah, those. Yeah, I'll tell you. It's basically, let's just look at the most recent one, the 30 and the 167. Okay. So this orange line, it shows you the auction that occurred right after the newest high. The newest high was at 30.29.50. Okay, you see 2 and 139, 24, 161. Isn't it updating? It's supposed to be changing every the candles. Yeah, you see 159 at the bottom? Okay, now what is it? 183? Okay, maybe there's a lag in the data. I'm not sure if it's on your side or mine, but oh, okay, that's why. Is it because is it because your data provider or your broker is not giving you live data, or is it delayed? That's weird, man. Yeah, well, normally it shouldn't be delayed then. I don't know why is it delayed. Mm, Sierra Church, you can email them, or I think they have like support through how you call it, their website. You get it? I don't think you can call them. I think you can only email Sierra Church. Yeah. Okay. So it's basically the way it works is I want to see the aggression from one edge of the candle to the other, right? So at the bottom, it tells me from the newest low we had, which was 30.2675 in this same candle, we had 197 delta positive, meaning that buyers were a bit more aggressive compared to sellers from the top. So buyers are basically holding the market from the bottom. You know what I mean? So I just want to see how, if this number is higher compared to the previous candle, and this shows that the market is basically the buyers are stepping up at these levels. And that same 30.27 was an important level that I had seen uh, at the market close today. There was like 5,000 contracts that traded all of a sudden at that price, so it was like very obvious that that price was going to be important. 30.27. These are little things that you eventually, when you get to see in the dome and in the footprint, you'll see like the market is going down now in live data, and buyers have lost control. That's what I'm seeing here. It's -2, -6. I'm seeing negative at the bottom. I don't know if you see negative now. Yeah, I think your data is lagging, or it's not up. It's not real. Well, it's because you don't see it live, but I'm seeing it here. I see that the market, you get it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the delta. It's the difference between buyers and sellers. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And look, nothing is accurate, but like it's all about them now. It's all about, yeah, it's all about what's going on now. What's going on now is that sellers are being more aggressive, and from the highs. So you see minus 553, minus 289, minus 59. It just shows that minus 372 at the 1030 candle. It just shows that, oh, from these highs, sellers are pushing in. It's a very quick glance. You could see these on faster time frames if you want. I mean, this is 30 minutes, but I just like to look at the 30 minutes to give me context. And then I use the jigsaw tools to basically tell me, okay, where are levels of interest and where are market participants coming in. Yeah. Jigsaw is a great way to really just have one screen and not have a lot of stuff, but I personally don't suggest you to get to Jigsaw before you really understand like the whole thing, because this is just going to be like, whoa, what's going on, how do I interpret this, and it's going to take you 1 to 3 months just to absorb and to observe how markets move around, and just to get yourself around the market profile. That's another thing, if you want to maybe look at the market profile of ES profile. Sorry. Yeah, what you could do is, yeah, I mean, you could read about it just to understand the technicalities. I mean, like, what's the teapot, what's the VPOC, yeah, like, what's a poor high, what's a poor low, what's an excess. You need to know what these are, and then you need to know, like, okay, how could I interpret all this into my trading? The Dalton way, the Stottlemyre way, it's great theory, perfect, but markets have changed from last 15, 20, 30 years, and not everything is all that important. But I mean, you have to observe for yourself what's working for you and what's not working, and what where are areas where and it's always like the context. Look at today. Like I said, the market went up. It's been going up, going up. It was really hard to be a seller because obviously you didn't really want to sell anything. But as soon as we had a, a single that failed at the top there at the 30.55, for me it was okay. Gradually buyers are going to maybe step are going to exhaust, and but I mean it doesn't really mean you need to be very aggressive on the sell side because you know that all day buyers have been in control. But as soon as the K period uh, went down, I said to myself, okay, buyers need to push it back up. So in L period it went up. It touched that last TPOC that we had at 30.59, and when L got very aggressive to the downside, it was like, okay, now all these people who have been buying the Ks and the J levels and the Ls are going to probably get trapped. I'm not saying I shorted there, but that was a good way to say, okay, if we start getting high momentum on the dome, on the depth of market, with the high momentum, this could really at least come back to the open price, or at least come back to touch the high volume node that we had at 30.47. It's a way of giving you targets and to understand the context. If you just had plain simple candles here, you don't know what's going on. You just see red, green, you know what I mean? But with the dome, and you execute on the dome, and then you get the context from your market profile, it kind of tells you like, okay, this is where things could shift. And the way I see this is, I mean, I don't know if you're able to. I'm gonna I don't know why, but my Twitter just froze for some reason. Like, I don't know if you still have access to Twitter. Like, mine just froze for some weird reason. Is it because of Trump and everything? And it's really weird, man. Okay, I think it's coming back. It's coming back. So you're in Virginia, right? Uh, which city? Oh, okay. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna send you this order. Okay. Twitter is really slow. I don't know why, but okay. I'm gonna send you this screenshot. Okay, give me 2 seconds here. Where is it? Okay, I'm gonna send you a screenshot here of today for you just to see. Hello, you still there? Yeah. I'm gonna send you like here. You're gonna see this. I want to see like, okay, just want for you to understand the single prints. This M period, okay. If you look at the most recent day, which was today, the 20th of May, this M period had a single, right? So that M period crossed the A low, okay? But in N, the last 15 minutes, because ES futures trade up to 415, that area basically, that was around 30, 31 approximately. That area basically becomes an area that's important for me just because I want to see like what's gonna happen below that, right? Is it really gonna get aggressive on the sell side? And as you can see overnight now in the electronic session, that same area has been kind of like, it's been resistance. It's been, the market's not being able to get above that area. That was the area for me where the market made a new low of the day, okay? And the new low of the day never, well, the market closed above it, first of all. But I want to see if, like, the sellers are able to get control above that again. You know what I mean? For me, that's how context is important. Like, that's like a lot. Some people, traders will call it like land in sand or whatever. You know, for the overnight, as you can see, look, it's been really an area where the market's been getting above it but closing back low, getting above it, going back lower. It just shows how sellers are in control. Sellers are really in control in the overnight session. Although we have a balanced session where we're making like we're going above and then we're coming back down and then trading mostly in the middle of the range, which is a balanced neutral session. That's just a market profile. It's not that important, but it's just to see that the context, that's the context of the market at the moment, you know. And this M and the M period, okay? Whenever M period makes a new low, so if you look at the extreme of the M period and the low, right? So the top of M and the below of M. If the overnight or the next day in market profile nuance, the theory, it says that you want to see if prices are rejecting out of that period, outside of it. So all this, the lows we had from 3019 to 3012, you see those lows rejected the low of M period, but we never really got above M period, the high. So we're basically trading in the range of the M period. Yeah, M period becomes very volatile. It's almost like a period where, like inventory readjustments and all that. That's where, like the big institutions supposedly they do their games, they play their games where they really reposition themselves for the next day or for the overnight. You get one. Yeah, it's 3:30 to 4, and it's really look at M period. No, no, no. It's 30 minutes. It's 3:30 to 4. Yeah, N is 15 minutes. N. Yeah. So if you go back, so take down what you really need to understand with profile is how do single prints work? How does the single print give you context? And then how do excesses, like excesses in M period, excess is in at the highs, okay? So really like jot these down and then really like observe and you know so excesses at the highs, excesses at the lows, M period, the teapot, the single prints, um, how these work during the day and how you could rely on these areas to make trading decisions. Go back, look at them, the previous teapots, and go do your back testing. Go back 2 years, go back 3 years, go back to the March contract, to the January contract, to the September 2019 contract if you want. Like the market generally trades very technically around market profile levels. I don't pay a lot of attention to the value area high, value area low. I don't, you know, I don't pay attention to the VPOC, the volume point of control. The reason why VPOC isn't important is look at today. We had like one, two, three, four major high volume nodes. How the hell do you know which one's gonna be more important? You know what I mean? Like there's no edge in you see them on your profile, you see them on your volume profile, but I mean, which one's going to be more important? Which one's you're going to rely on? It's very arbitrary, you know. Yeah, yeah. So um, ooh, you're talking about the high volume nodes? Yeah, yeah, like the volume nodes. Look, there's like four of them, right? Three or four important ones. Yeah, and yeah, so the volume profile, the VPOC, the volume point of control, some traders are going to say when this shifts and all that. Look, man, there's no edge. And if everyone is able to see something, it doesn't really give you an edge in like which one's going to be the most important. Look, you can go back, do your back testing. Normally speaking, it doesn't really give you like a good aim. The only time where you could use the volume point of control or a volume point of control or high volume node is look at the high of today. GHIJKL, they all came back into the middle of that high volume node, and when prices went back from that level, It's just like, okay, if we start getting aggressive sellers from here, all these guys who tried to buy at these highs are gonna probably get trapped. You know, it's a way of giving you context. That's pretty much it. And then you could see that L crossed through the high volume nodes, crossed through the other one. This is like, okay, shit, man, sellers are getting very aggressive here. So you don't really want to be very aggressive on the buy side. You know, this is where you, like, experience and the way of seeing the market will eventually lead you to not make stupid decisions or stupid trades. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Look, send me screenshots, and we could look at stuff in the. Yeah. You go to chart, uh, graph, graphic settings chart, and then you could play with the chart, the text, the font should be there too. Yeah, the font is right there. It's is it? Yeah, sample and all that, and you can play with. The coloring of your bar charts and all that. And mm, mm-hmm. uh, on the profile, you see where is it? Oh, you like at the edges, right? On each price, you see like 480 times whatever. At the low, you see what is it? 50 times one, 50 by one. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. On the volume, you don't see that on the. Yeah, the ABCs and all that. Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where each price, yes, each price. That's the bid and ask on each price. Uh, to be honest, like I don't really pay attention to that. It's just that it's there because I want to see like what's going on. Is there absorption at each which level? Basically it helps. That's that's No, no, no. That's not the time in sales. The time in sales is when you see a tape. Time in sales comes from tape. I'm gonna send you a screenshot of time in sales on Jigsaw here, but that's just pure how much was traded on the ask and bid at each price level. Okay, there's not much edge in seeing that, but like when the day is, it's basically a footprint of the day. of the whole session, basically. It's a footprint of the whole session. You get it? Yeah, it's basically a footprint of the whole session. I mean, obviously, when the session continues, those values add up, And what I like to see in those areas is, I don't know if you can see it, if we can see it on the 28 today's action, the 28th. Let me see if there's an example of that. Um, the high levels, like the big red and greens, okay? Red and blues, sorry. If you see any red and blues, high levels, 70. Oh my god, that's weird. I'm trying to look at here. Give me 2 seconds. No, nothing really flashes up. But the one at the price at the bottom, there's a price here. Give me 2 seconds. I'll look this price level. Okay, it's 30, 30, 30, 20, 30, 35. You see, like that red was the highest red we saw at that level. Okay, and when it was at the edge of a high volume node. Again, not saying that it's going to be all that important, but it could sometimes be important where you see that there was 6,827 on the buy side, but 9,137 on the sell side. You get it? So there was much more the 3035 price. Hello? You see like 9,132 on the sell side and 6,827 on the buy side, right? So on the ask is the buy, on the bid is the, yeah, on today's session. So that just means that there's a huge difference in delta. Okay, the delta is the ask and bid difference. So that's an important detail. If you see something as important like that, it's just that at that price there was more absorption, because you see that the sellers were aggressive there, but I mean the prices are higher. You know what I mean? Obviously now it's closed, but at that time, if you had seen that, you would be like, okay, that price was probably a price where buyers were absorbing all the selling. The limit orders are taking, like, the the sell orders. Whoever's selling, the limit orders are there to absorb it. But again, in hindsight, it's easy to see. But I mean, during the day, I didn't even pay attention to that. But I would have seen it if it was live. I would have seen it on the jigsaw. Like, let's say, like my example that I gave you, the 3027 I saw at the close, 3027 at the close. Like, I mean, obviously here we don't see it, but at the close, it's unbelievable how, like, I think I did share it in Twitter. I did like a screenshot. Like 5,000 all of a sudden came in and bought 3027, and then you had like 2 or 3,000 only on the sell side. It was very like clear that a big guy came in at that price. You see this very clearly. Yeah, you see that very clearly on the jigsaw sometimes. You know and what happens is that sometimes you see these differences like instantly. Like, let's say the price is the trade, it's going on now, and then you see 400 on the buy side and 200 on the sell side, and the price never comes back to retest that. You rely on that level to buy. You know what I mean? It's that instant. But you won't get to that point where you'll buy this, like, blindly. You won't buy it now because you don't understand. You haven't seen it enough. But once you start seeing it, you get the confidence of like, okay, I'm gonna buy here. I'm gonna lean on that. I'll buy 2, 3, scale in 2, 3 contracts at 4, 5 points. I'll sell 2 of them, keep one at break even. You know what I mean? If it goes higher, it goes higher, and you eventually develop a way of looking at it. I think I shared it in Twitter. I think do you follow what's his name? Do you follow TikTok? Is that TikTok? What's his name? Emini TikTok? You know that guy on? Yeah, I think I shared it on his tweet or something today, and I'm not sure where I would have to show it to you, but anyway, it was very clear, man. That 3027 at that price at that time when I saw it, it just like boom, it was automatic. um, and that's where you see like sellers getting trapped, on the dome. Eventually when you get to that point, you'll see stuff like that, and that's where like you don't need any candles or anything like that. Some guys will only purely just trade off the dome because they don't even care what's going on in the market. They just want to know what's going on now, you know what I mean? The guy has 4 or 5 trades to do in a day. He'll make his trades just based off like absorption or based off little stuff that he'll see on the dome, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care if sellers or buyers in control. It's sometimes literally 8 seconds is a trade and you're done. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes it's easier some days and tougher the other days. Like I always share my days, and like maybe 2 or 3 days ago, I had like 6 trades where, man, for some reason, like the breakouts were not working. I would just buy and boom, it would just go back down, and I would just close the position for a loss. Close the position for a loss. I was like 4 or 5 trades where it just didn't work. So I said okay, and then the sixth trade, I basically went over the first 5 trades, and then okay, we're back to zero, break even, and then the whole day just sometimes it's how it is. It's the opens are very weird sometimes, and that's why I try to like maybe the first 30 minutes. I don't know why, but I'm very bad with the first 30 minutes. Like, even if it's the best day of the year, I'm still not good with the first 30 minutes. I'm very inconsistent with that. But once the day starts, and then, okay, you kind of understand what's going on, and the head fakes and all that, those things are done. Let's get to business. And that's where it gets clearer sometimes. And the profile kind of gives you that context too. Like I said, a lot of traders are trying to like understand the profile and okay, I'm gonna trade here, I'm gonna buy here. If it was that easy, everyone would just do it. But if at least you're able to see it, and if you're at least able to, you know, see what's going on, and you know that this is the way the market moves around 70-80% of the time, you could rely on these levels, and then okay, get to the dome, let's see what's going on. Okay, sellers are exhausting, let's buy this, give it, I don't know, give it 4 or 5 points for your first exit or whatever. And if you see that, man, okay, the buyers are here, but man, they're not all that aggressive. It's very balanced. Okay, so that means it's gonna be a neutral day. You know that, you know, you're gonna have to be a bit more nimble. You're gonna have to buy at the lows, sell at the highs. Try not to swing for 15, 20 points. You know that that's probably not gonna be that kind of day. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know. All right. Did it work? Okay. I think I didn't even look at it, man. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. All right, man. So we'll keep in touch. If ever you have anything, let me know. You can just share print screens. I'm very active on Twitter. I try to, it's a bit fun, and it makes things fun. If ever you need anything, let me know, and feel free to message me. Okay. All right. Enjoy your day, man. Take care.